Okay, I'm not sure if you're listening me. Okay, hello everybody. Again, as I said, I'm going to try to just get more into live content, like composing music for real projects, real things, which is what I do every day. 1 second, yeah. And okay, first of all, I just wanted to show you the platform where I'm going to upload what I'm going to compose now here. And there is a website that I guess many of you know pretty well. It's called GameDevMarket.net. .net. And you can create here an account. I think it doesn't changes when you create an account, no matter if you're going to sell or if you're going to just upload assets that are going to be sold here. So this website is about selling assets or packs. Usually they are packs for video games, different aesthetics, different kind of video games. There are lots of kind of retro stuff too for those people who enjoy this kind of video games too. There are many developers around over there just creating this kind of video games like pixel art and this stuff. I've worked on many of these games too, and I like them. But it's not just this kind of video games, but you also have some more modern, let's call that way, productions here. And as you can see, they have different categories: 2D, 3D, audio, which is the one we are interested in. And here you have music and sound effects. And in music you have different categories. Okay, so if you want, I don't know, just you want to check, okay, cinematic music. Okay, so you just click here and it brings you to all the different packs people, many composers around there are uploading with cinematic music just to sell here. Big orchestra. Okay, this is just kind of, actually you are the one selecting the category where you want your music when you upload it to be organized. And okay, I have here, I'm not sure if it's going to find me. Actually no. Okay, this is just my name here, and I don't know, fantasy RPG complete soundtrack. I created different yeah, these ones are mine actually. So yeah, this is my profile here. I just didn't upload it a lot of stuff, but just if you want to check just some kind of productions I uploaded here, there are a few of them. Actually I think I have, okay, I think these are the 6 boxes I uploaded, the 6 packages. And we are going just to work on another one of this, okay? So another fantasy RPG complete soundtrack. So these usually consist on 7 compositions in this case. I create a leitmotif or main theme, main melody I mean, and I usually use it for creating the full box, because that helps a lot with coherence and with an overall feeling of soundtrack, like the music is telling a story itself with the full amount of packages. So it's nice because you can listen just one track in one style or just one rhythm, and then you listen to another track and they both are completely different, but they feel like they are part of the same thing because they share some details, some melodies, or some things that make it unique. So that's the idea I want for each of the packs I upload here, and this is the idea I want to follow also for this one that we are going to compose here. Okay, so for this kind of things, we need to have pretty clear a melody, I would say, which could be called like a leitmotif, something like that. And I think that's the most important thing so far, because if it's not interesting, mm, none of the 7 or 8 tracks that you are going to create for this box or this pack is going to be interesting. So it's a kind of bigger risk that you take than if, for example, composing for something mm, like a single piece that, okay, if it doesn't work, it's just one piece, so it's not a problem. But if you create and you spend all the time on creating a full soundtrack or a full package of 7, 8, 9, 10 tracks, and if you don't have the main idea that all of these tracks follow, you don't have this idea interesting, being interesting, you have a problem to make it work. So I think that's important, and that's something that we should just try to do. So also we need to define clearly a style that we want. For example, I want something a bit happier, because most of the tracks, most of the packages I uploaded there are kind of dark, classical dark, but this time I want something really emotional and beautiful and happy. So I think we can go that way, because yeah, maybe it might sound it's not maybe that easy to use in video games, but I think that's not exactly correct. And video games can use many different kind of music, many different music. You know, it doesn't need to be dark. It doesn't need to be epic. It can use many different styles. And actually, I think most games today are trying just to get different, to be different from the rest. And if everyone is using just dark, epic, cinematic music, it might be interesting that someone doesn't want to use that too, and just something different that is still beautiful to listen to. So I think we should go with that approach. And I don't know, let's try, for example, A major, and let's try compose something in A major. I just don't have anything in mind right now, but usually I would try just to have something, but I just don't have anything right now again. So let's improvise a bit, something in A major. Something super emotional, you know, beautiful, kind of love music, this kind of stuff. Okay. I like something like that, maybe. So the melody would be. Something like that, maybe. Let's see. Okay, so that's beautiful. Mm, yeah, I like that. Okay, so let's record it again. Yeah, and that's beautiful too because we add extra tension at some point because it's super sweet if not, and so okay, I'm going to show you the what I'm playing so you can see the different chords and notes in the melody. So okay, so and I like that too, that kind of mm, and let's record this. Okay, something like that. This is just a piano sketch, so this is not how it's going to sound when we start adding instruments. So I think this may be interesting just as a starting point. I like the melody. And I think this gives the possibility of changing the harmony with this same melody or just pretty simple variations over it, so that makes it probably good for developing a full list of tracks around it. So okay, let's try now to add some. I would like to start probably with woodwinds. So I'm going just to load the volume of the piano so I can hear much better to the woodwinds, and I'm going just to the woodwinds here. Probably flutes might be nice to take the role of the main melody in the beginning, but probably I just want to move this a bit later, so I want the melody to start a bit later, but let's just try to record here the flutes, just playing the melody, and then we will see how we introduce the first track we are composing. Okay, so let's record here the flutes. Okay, I made some variations in the melody because I thought it was going to sound better, and actually I think I like it a bit more. It's less a bit less predictable maybe, so I think that works. Okay, so um, I'm going just to choose now. Okay, maybe just the typical high note in the violins with kind of sul tasto, flageolet, tremolo. I think this violins, flageolet, tremolo. This sounds like this. It's really beautiful just to start tracks super softly and just create kind of interesting sound and some kind of mystery or expectations, as you don't really know what's happening in a few seconds later. So let's start the track with that sound. And we can add now some different details before the flute starts. Okay, so we have this kind of pedal note already recorded, so okay, I think we can play with the harp, like I'm not sure. No, not diminished chords. Probably just let's play with. I just made some mistakes in the harp, and actually just didn't like the beginning at all. So going to remove it and just record the harp when the part of the flute starts. So let's go. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Okay, so not bad. I think there is a wrong note in one of these arpeggios, but around here maybe. That's one. So hey, I'm sorry, I just didn't didn't say anything low Lurelli and Matadis. Hello. I'm not sure if you just could check the beginning, but I'm just composing a track for an upcoming music box that I want to upload to Game Dev Market. So that's what we are doing, and as I said, I want these boxes to this package of music to have a main melody so it can work as a soundtrack. So that's what we are going to do here, just finding that main melody and just the first track for the package, or one of the tracks. I'm not sure which will be later the first one, but this is definitely the first one we are composing. So, and I will try just to do a series of videos just trying to show you the process of composing just the full pack, not just one track, but just all the tracks in the pack, and then before I upload it to Game Dev Market. So it's going to be done during different days. Of course, I'm not going to do everything today, but I think it might be interesting for someone, I don't know, especially someone that might be just considering uploading their own music to that website. So thank you so much about the chord progressions comment. Actually, it's pretty simple, I think. Okay, let me share the, yeah, I think you see it better here with the harp. This is the harp. I think it's A major again, but with the C sharp in the bass note, D major, and A major again. And then we just repeat it, but one octave lower just to get more body. And it's basically the same, but I think here I add E major. Yeah, let me just see the score, because I think it's going to be better for me just to check the score even when it's just the Logic 1 score. I think it's going to be better. So yeah, okay, so look, I have here just an estimated score. Of course, this is not something correct at all, and I would need to tweak this a lot and just bring it to Sibelius and do it in a better way, but I think it's enough to check the chords. So okay, this should be A major. This is the first. And then I just move it to the first inversion. then I do D major and A major again. And the A major again. And okay, this is E major with 7th. I'm not sure about the correct name of the chord in English, but yeah, you know, it's pretty simple chord, pretty common. And then we just remove the 7th to give it a more feeling of end of the phrase. And then we just move to the F sharp minor. Just E major now, but in the first inversion with the G sharp in the bass, and A major again, and then D major. You know, this is pretty simple chords, nothing really interesting. It's just okay, maybe just the part in the end. I think I made in the second time we went here, here, this one is, but it's still not something weird. It's just a diminished chord, like that. Fine. Okay, you do here. And then D major, B minor, G major, E minor, C major, and A major. Because this sounds kind of magical, which I think is pretty cool for video games. In general, if you just change chords by thirds, like major thirds, for example, and you play all the chords major or minor, you can sound dark or magical. It's like, for example, G major. Let me load a piano because I think it's better for getting to understand this. Okay, so you play C major. Okay, C major. And then you play, for example, E major. Why E major? Because there is a major, no, yeah, there is a major third. And this sounds kind of magical. What would be now just next major? You know, if you just jump between chords using thirds, you get kind of magical feeling in the music, especially if you get if you are using major chords, because if you are doing the same, so jumping between chords using thirds, but you just play minor chords, you will sound kind of dark, magical, mystery, but dark in any way. So, for example, I don't know, F minor, then you go to D minor because there is a third between F minor and D, and between F and D, you have a third, minor third. So this sounds super dark. Then B minor, for example, G minor, E minor, C minor. So that's pretty interesting. Actually, if you speak Spanish, I would recommend you to check Mauro de Maria, because he talks about all of this, but really, really deep. And he has a book where he explains this, and he calls it puntos cardinales. Of course, it's not just this. This is just the easiest way to achieve this kind of style of magical thing, like. this sounds quite magical in general, right? This is just something he mentions and he talks about, but I will let you, Mauro de Maria. I'm not sure if this material is in English or any other language, but it's in Spanish for sure, so maybe you can search for it, and if you are lucky, you can find it and in your language, and just it's pretty interesting actually. So I would recommend you to check it and give it a go. So okay, we had. I'm just going to. So we have this. Okay, I think we can add now. I don't know, maybe alto flute soloist, but just to add some kind of colors in the beginning. I don't know. For example, let me check Valhalla Room. I like this, and just put it as an insert. I'm not because it's okay. Okay. Okay, something like that. Okay, I like that. It's pretty simple. This is the alto flute melody I just played, but I think it's quite good for introducing something. Like it's okay, beautiful, easy to listen to, and it works with the next melody. So yeah, and let's see. I'm just going to see how to introduce some more sound, more density in the overall sound while we just develop the melody. So okay, let's try something in the clarinets. Let's go. There is something wrong in the end, but I'm not sure if it's in the harp or in the flutes. We will see a bit later. Just not worried about this. Okay, this is the flute. These are the clarinets too. So I'm going just to add the bassoons here when we change to the F sharp minor. Let's see. Sorry. Okay, the problem is in the harp. Let me check the harp. So this is C major. Yeah, this is wrong. Okay, so we have it solved that. We have solved that. Okay, I think we need to just add some oboe lines. I don't know, I'm going just to play something different probably for each of the oboes. As I don't really like how they sound together. Usually these two instruments, I mean oboe 1 and oboe 2, if you have woodwinds, I don't know how to say in English this. Duo? You know, two woodwinds. Two woodwinds with two instruments per, with two players per instrument. So when you have this, I just don't like the sound of first and second oboe if they are playing the same thing. I like them to play something different. So let's see. Okay, probably I will need to tweak this a bit, but I think the idea is okay, not too bad. Just let's see what we can do for the second oboe. So let's see. I think that note was not. I mean, I just corrected this note. So let's see. I'm not sure what I'm doing. What? Okay. So I don't know what did I do. This is what I wanted. I just wanted to add some reverb. Okay, that's beautiful, but I'm missing something else. Maybe let's add some strings, which I think is always beautiful to do. Okay, so as I told you in some other videos, I really love the sound of these three libraries all together. Vista by Performance Samples, Appassionata by Spitfire Audio, and the Cinematic Studio Strings that everybody know. And actually I'm using here the latest update they released, because I find it much more easier. It's easier to use, in my opinion, the Legato, and also the sound is subtly better also, I think. So okay, let's add some basses maybe. I don't know. Let's see. This is what we have so far. Okay, I like this a bit more, but now we need to add much more things here. I've just noticed that it will work much better. So let's add the rest of the strings probably, when the, or at least just the low strings, maybe the violas too. Let's see. Okay. This is the all together cello. I don't like it. I mean, I like some parts, but not all. So, okay, so I'm going to record again. But as I said in another video that you can check in the channel, I think actually I uploaded it a few days ago. One of the things I said when I write for strings is that I try to make each of the melodies, each of the instruments play something interesting, something with movement. I try, maybe not too complex because we don't want to go with probably more than 3 things at the same time, but just something that is not boring for the player also. It usually means it's going to be much more interesting to listen to. So I try just to give some movement to the cello. So I think you are going to see it much easily here. Easier if I show you just the bass line and not okay, and not all the things going on, because the cello is going to move around here probably and you won't really know what it's playing. So let's go just with the basses. I hate these things. Maybe. Actually, I'm going just to because this is C major and A major. So the E is just common note in both chords. So this is going to work. Okay. But of course I need to tweak this, and this is just the modulation that I want it to end there. I want the note, that note just to kind of fade out naturally, so that's why I'm doing this. Okay, so that's cool. I'm not sure, maybe we can add also some violas. Yeah, I think so. So, okay, let's record just with having the other strings in the screen, so we can see what the violas are playing. So, let's go. Sorry, wrong note. Yeah, I like that. I like this. Okay, so as I told you, I usually make layering with these three libraries, which I think sound beautiful together. Not just, yeah, there. Not just louder, but also beautiful. The sound quality is better in my opinion. So let's listen to what we have so far. Okay, we have two options here. Just one of them is probably just mute these two libraries here because of the volume of the strings. Okay, of course we could just do automatization, sorry, to the volume, which actually is also a nice option. But in any case, we are losing the melody. We are just not hearing the melody clearly because it's only with the flutes, and I think it's important just to double the melody when the strings start playing, which is here, just with another instrument or more than one instrument, we will see, in order just to get the main melody stand out. So I think my first option, due to the context, would be solo horn, doubling the flutes. So okay, this is too high for a horn. Okay, so let's try to record the melody again with a horn, a solo horn. Okay, a bit better. Maybe actually we can even add some violins there with melody. I just wanted to reserve the violins a bit more until we could go back with the main melody from the beginning, and of course this second part, which is probably more beautiful, but I think we can do that anyway. Just get more. Yeah, let's add some violins. I'm going just to play like the first violins in low register, so they are not really that important. And then we will bring the violins in a higher register, so the melody can stand out even more, with more orchestra going on with it. So let's record again the melody, but now in the violins. So let's see. Let's go. I made some mistakes in the end. How to avoid clashing of many melodies and the voicings of other instruments. Yes, that's actually the most difficult part, I would say. Um, that's why also I said before when I was recording the telly, I think that I just mentioned that I like to give some melody or some movement to the string parts so the player doesn't get bored. But this is not always easy because of what you said. This to me, but I think keep it up. Thanks. Um, just I was saying that it's the most difficult part because of what you said, because usually the voicing just I don't know how to say English is not my main language, as you might have noticed, but it's like you can get some kind of conflicts between different instruments, especially if you are playing counterpoint in all of the strings. But um, this is something I try to do always when I write for many instruments at the same time. It's just keeping the melodies close. Usually, like for example, here there is just one note. Like they are all adjacent notes. Like, wait, what is? So they are pretty close to each other, and I try to make this constantly, not big jumps unless it's the main melody and I feel it needed. But if not, I'm not trying to do in the cello, for example. Unless I have space for that, for example, because I want it to be a secondary melody and I leave some gaps in the main melody to do this in other instrument and to make it important too. But usually I try to get every melody pretty close, not big jumps in it, unless it's the main one, because this allows me to avoid many of these conflicts that may appear. But in any case, I always try to just check all the instruments together, and I see where I may have some conflicts and just correct it. Usually, when you are working with orchestra, you don't want many thirds to be in the same in a same chord. You want firstly like the root note, the main note of the chord. Like for example, this is F minor, so we want the F sharp minor. Sorry, you want F sharp to be the most prominent note in the chord. So most of the instruments playing at the same time should be playing F sharp usually. The next most important note that you want to be the most common in one chord is the fifth of the chord. So in this case it would be C sharp. So we would like to have C sharps as the second most prominent note, and the one you want to avoid to be in many of the instruments is the third. If you have many thirds and not many roots or many fifths, it's going to sound weak and not stable at all, and you don't want that usually. So that's why it's important. So I usually, when I have something already written, I try just to review everything, especially when I listen to something, I just find it a bit like it should sound better. Like, this is something you develop when you write quite a lot of music, and you finally know what can be better directly if you just rewrite the voicing. So usually it's pretty common that when I'm reviewing these things, I find the telly, for example, not this note, because this note creates kind of conflict, or it's not as powerful as if I, for example, just change this to here. It's just an example, I tweak these things, so the voice in the end is much better because I don't have, for example, as many thirds, or I'm not sure if I helped you a bit with the comment, because this is probably the most difficult part when orchestrating, because you have like, I don't know, 60 different instruments playing in an orchestra. Like, okay, not 60 because you have 16 violins, first violins, 12 second violins, etc. And this made a big part of the full orchestra musicians. But you have anyway, I don't know, like many different lines for many different instruments playing at the same time, and you need to tweak the composition in a way that it sounds coherent for the musicians usually, because they don't want to play like this note constantly until the end of the piece. They want some movement, even if it's just not a lot, but they prefer to do that than this. This is boring, and it's also boring to listen to. And this is just an example, but it helps make things more interesting. And you are just not changing a lot actually, but it makes it much more interesting. So yeah, it's something you are not going to avoid clashing the main melodies, but because actually I have just one main melody, which is the one in the violins here, or in the flute. It's the same one. I just basically doubled it with other instruments. And the melody in the cello, which I think is probably what you mean with another main melody, is not that main. Actually, if you listen to the cello alone, I'm going just to show you how the cello and the violas and the basses sound, and you will see the melody in the cello is not really that important as the violins one. Let's wait. Okay, another trick I just noticed I do is that I have here, let's say, two melodies, okay? The violas is one of them, which is the higher one, and then the cello, which is this other lower one, okay? And as you see, when there is more movement in one of these melodies, for example, here, or here, or here in the cello, I mean, the other one is not really moving. It's just one note, then okay, I change it, but it's like longer notes, while here we have shorter ones. And the opposite, here we have in the viola shorter notes, so here we have longer one. And this helps a lot with the overall feeling of movement, because you have movement here, you have movement here, 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 while if you analyze just one of the instruments, you have 1, 2, 3, okay, but less. Here you have here, when one is just staying in the same note, the other one is moving, and the opposite. So you have in as a whole, you have much more movement than individual melodies. But that's with the secondary ones. I usually create the main melody first, and then I just try to add the secondary, just complementing that one, not making. I try to avoid these things, but it's kind of, I try to do it directly. I just don't think a lot about it when I do it. Just review it in the end, and if I find any conflicts between the melodies that I play at the same time, I just correct that in the instrument that is causing the conflict. Or yeah, and in case I have two instruments that separately are playing things that work well, but they create conflict when joined together. I just check which option is the best one for me, for my taste, and tweak everything around that. So maybe I have to change a note in the celli or in the violas or in the bassoons, whatever is the instrument we are talking about. So I'm not sure if I explained this correctly or if it helped you a bit. It's just, I guess everyone has different methods to do this, but as I said, in my case, I don't usually think a lot about this until I have to review a passage, or just, of course, if I find something is not sounding as I would like it to sound. So let's see. This is with the violins. Okay, yes, here I just didn't finish the violins line, so let's go. I'm not sure if this would work. Yes. Okay, so I'm going just to double the violins here and also here. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Okay, I want the counterpoint there. Probably basis, pizzicato basis. And this is yeah. I like something like that. It's beautiful and it helps a bit because it was super simple, that part. And so I'm just doubling the celli. I'm going to do this and let's go with okay. So I'm doubling the basses with the celli. So let's see how this sounds. Yeah, and I'm going to double this also with the glockenspiel. I like that. Maybe we can add Mark 3. Let's see. Yeah. You're welcome. Happy to know it helped a bit. Okay, so basically we are just making it a bit more complex in the beginning. The piece is pretty short yet, but I think the main idea is there, and what we are going to do next is going to be super fast to do, so the track is going to be working pretty fast, I think, from this point. Let's see how it sounds all together. Okay, and how was the melody in the beginning? I just forgot about it. Dun, dun. Okay. Okay, we can maybe just here in the end of this part we can go with the main melody again, and maybe we can do some variation later, and then we go back to this with the full orchestra playing, and we end it. I think that can be nice. So. Okay. Okay, here we can just wait. Sorry. Here, I mean, we just go back to the second part. I just created kind of new melody for the second, kind of interlude between the first part of the main melody and the second part that would work here. So we can just go to the piano now and check the chords that I was imagining. Okay, so I have the piano loaded. So here, let's record this. Okay, but I don't want it there. I want it. Oh my god. No. Okay, here we have. Okay. Okay. Not bad actually. I just don't love it, but I think we need to search for something a bit. I'm going to remove the first piano sketch we had because the ideas there are already set, but and this way I'm going to increase the volume for so far, so we can just listen to the piano better when searching for the chords exactly. So this is the violin's melody that I want to continue, and this is thought to be played with the full orchestra at some point. Let's see. Okay. I think a diminished chord there is beautiful. So let me play this. Okay. So okay, I'm going just to play it again. This is the violins. Okay, so I like that better. Okay, so going to record this again. Okay. I don't know why sometimes this happens to me. It's kind of weird thing from my keyboard, I guess. Okay, so I like that more. So going to mute this and just have it as a reference when I record the basses, which is the next thing I'm going to record here. So let's go to the basses. I don't know what happened. What was I doing here? What was I doing? Okay. Let's just... Okay. You know, when I record from in different parts, like this was the part from the end of what we were recording before, and now I just recorded new passage, so that's why we have these things that I absolutely hate, but that's what we have. So just tweak this in this way. Okay, and it should be enough to avoid that kind of jumps. So that's fine. Okay, let's record now the cello. So here is the place where we just connect on this. Okay, and the cello was here. That's too high. Anyway, let's go. let's record. Okay, we need to tweak here probably. Yeah, I think so. This is too exaggerated. So let's. Okay, yeah, something like that. Let's record now the violas here. I think it's beautiful, isn't it? I want to see where I want the first violins. Let's see. No, but I think it's because I went to hike. Actually, no, I was okay. I was okay because this is the second violins, and I want the first ones just to play one octave higher from this point. So I was thinking that I was too high, but I wasn't. So let's record again. Okay, I need to tweak something here. It's not fine. These are the two violin lines. Okay. So this is okay. I'm just going to copy that way directly so I can just go a bit faster. Especially, okay. This is the first violins, and I want these notes. No, only this to be one octave higher. So I think we have this. Let's tweak the violas here that I found before. I said let's tweak this later, but it's this kind of things that you only see when you listen again to the full track and just see what happened there. Let's see. Let's listen actually. Okay, yeah, I'm going just to double the strings here with the other libraries as we did before, so we can just have everything sounding coherent as we want it to. And next thing, we are going just to listen to the full track from the beginning. Okay, so we can have an overall idea of what's going on. Let's see. Okay, we are here. Bum, 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 bum. And how was the melody of the part? Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so here, okay, the problem and why we didn't detect it correctly is because of the latest chord. Yes, so let's remove that. And okay, okay, I'm just tweaking this, you know, these things, so everything sounds coherent with the previous time we played the melody, because here we had F sharp minor, and with the different thing we played here, that this kind of new part, we were ending on A major, so I just wanted to go back to the previous part, so it should sound now better, I think. I'm not sure honestly what I did. What did I do? Okay, looks like this is exactly the same. Let's see what sounds like. Yes. Dun, 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 dun. And we can go back to the previous part, if I remember. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I think I'm going just to set this as a reference, and I can maybe just record here, but having this as a reference. So let's see. Okay, it was an epic fail. Okay, done. Okay, here, right. But not this time. This time is going to work for sure. Alright, at least I will try to make it work. Let's go. You know, I hate some things like, okay, dun, dun, dun. It's like okay, now it's a bit better. I'm a bit lost right now. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. You know, I'm just working first of all on just the strings, and actually in one of these libraries. And then once I have the idea completely done, I will go to the rest of the sections and we'll see what we need. But I think having clear that I want strings there, the full section of strings, I usually find it easier just to write all the instruments, all the lines for the string section, and then I just go back to the rest of the sections in the orchestra. So I think I would like to see dun, 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 dun. Okay, I think we can just play this area. So yeah, this is the place where we joined the violins. Wait, because I'm seeing this kind of thing, that's the only thing why this is useful, because it's like a pain in the ass for the rest of the things. Okay, so let's record the basses again here. Hey Joris, thank you so much. You know, this is for a pack of tracks that I want mm, to upload to a website called Game Dev Market. That is just a website where you can just sell different assets for video games, and they have a specific section for music and sound effects. So I just wanted to compose a full track, I mean a full package consisting of maybe 7 or 8 different tracks that use a same leitmotif, and I wanted to compose, this pack in Leaf. So this is just the first idea, and we will see if it works and it's beautiful track. I can create the full pack around it. So I want it also to be kind of emotional, beautiful, kind of happy at some point, because all the material I have uploaded so far there is more dark, epic stuff. So I just thought this could be interesting, because video games usually are always searching for unique material, and I'm not sure if there is lots of music like this in video games currently. So just want to give it a try. Maybe someone likes it for their game and they can use it. So this is the piece so far. If you didn't listen to it, I will play it. That's the point where we are, and just wanted to finish it, just repeating the second part of the main melody that we just introduced before. So that's the idea, and I'm sorry I just wasn't showing you the DAW, DAW. I'm not used to compose in Leaf, so I just keep forgetting constantly about what screen you are seeing. So just wanted to say sorry for that. And okay, so let's record something here for the telly, for example. And because these two are ready, but yes. Okay, so let's record something for the telly. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I'm just going to record. I forgot about the chords at some point, so no, it was okay. Something wrong is happening here, something bad. But I think it's okay. No worries. Let's mute all of the other libraries. That one, yes. So okay, and now we should try with the violas. Let's go with the violas. Yes. So okay, you see that I had some kind of yes, this. And that's only because I had some things recorded before and already had some values for the modulation and the expression. So the new ones I was recording now because I just didn't know that I had recorded before there. I just didn't notice that. So the new values were just trying to be instead of the old ones, but as I don't record the exact movements, some points just go back to the previous ones, and that's why this is happening. But this is super easy to solve, as you saw before, and it's just about thinking and tweaking it with the mouse. It's the fastest way I know, at least. Okay, and we have something here that we don't want. That note was not the one we wanted. So maybe something like this. I don't know, it's just also checking it, and if you don't like it, you can go always back and tweak it again. So let's see something like that. I don't know. Let's go. Okay, we have something here that I'm not liking at all, and I am not sure what is it. Okay, apart from the first violins that stop playing drastically there, but that's easy to solve too, because we have already the second violins working pretty nicely. So we are going to copy this and just go exactly, you can put the zoom to its highest level and you select the exact point you want and just go back to the first violins. This is the second violin, so we want to copy paste here. Okay, sorry, just made something wrong. Oh my god, again. Sorry. These are the things that we have to do when this is the most annoying or boring part of dun, 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 of this job, but it's necessary in order to make things work. So, okay. Okay, actually there are some things that are more annoying, like sporting stems and things like that. Okay, so we have. Oh my god. Okay, I just going to copy that and that's all. And I'm going to put it. Okay, so we have the first violins also now playing exactly the same, but I made a mistake, or maybe not. Actually, no. You know what I'm going to do? Just in order, because if I copy only the MIDI notes, we have a problem because we don't copy the MIDI values. And in my experience, when I try to copy, like I select, for example, in the second violin, these are the second violins, and I want to copy the modulation and the expression from here, and I just copy here and go back to the other place and copy there these values. Usually it doesn't work. Today it worked, so it's okay. But usually I have problems with that, you know. It's like it doesn't copy well things. I don't know. So let's copy this one too. Maybe copy there, and just let's copy here. Oh, it's okay. Okay, so let's tweak this, and okay. I don't know, it worked. Seems like it worked, which is better. So, okay, let's go back to this part. Okay, this needs to sound much bigger, and it will, for sure, once we add firstly the rest of the strings, which I'm going to remove here, and you're just going to layer this with the two other libraries we were talking about, Passionata by Speed for Audio and Cinematic Studio Strings by Cinematic Studio Series. So, okay, we have this double here, and this is going to be already bigger, but I meant we needed to sound bigger also if it was played with a real orchestra, so it means we need to add more instruments. So I'm going to do it fast. Okay, so just going to Cinebrass Sonor, which is Cine Samples library. Pretty good, I mean. And I'm going to use the horns sustain patch, and I'm going to play 4 notes at the same time, like chords using 4 notes. And that's because you know, usually a symphonic orchestra we have 4 horns, 6 sometimes, 4 is okay, it's quite common. So I'm going just to use 4 different voices for the horns, and they sound like it sounds super beautiful, really beautiful. So I want this probably just when this part arrives. So let's let's just record from this point. Okay, yes, but no. You know, it's I like this probably here, but just let me try something different. I forgot that chord. I knew it's a diminished one, but so. Yeah, I think it was that. So let's record again. This is the strings. Okay, this is the simplest way to add sound to this. No problem, Joris. Yeah, it's Vista by Performance Samples. You know, it's full contract library, and it's really really beautiful. It sounds amazing. But it's important just to notice that this is only for legato. I think they are going to release a new library that it's for strings. It's called Pacific Strings, maybe I think, and it's going to be focused on strings and not just legatos. but it sounds pretty similar in the quality to this one, so I think that's going to be an incredibly good library. Probably a bit expensive because this one is not cheap, considering it only has legato. Okay, if you just want to play sustains, you can, but the strength of this library is the legato, in my opinion. So that's the first one. The second one is Appassionata Strings by Spitfire Audio. It sounds really beautiful too, but it's like smaller sound, more detailed one, and this other and the Vista, this one has um, bigger sound, deeper sound in general, a bit less detailed sound, but really beautiful, and the sound of the room is incredibly good, in my opinion. And also the Spitfire Audio one, this one, Appassionata Strings, are more detailed, in my opinion, but they sound smaller, kind of smaller. So I just tried to layer to layer both libraries together, and just the sound is probably the most beautiful one I've listened to in string sample libraries. It sounds super detailed thanks to this one, and super beautiful room sound, or thanks to the Vista ones. And then I just tried to add to the formula the Cinematic Studio Strings, which I've always liked the sound, not that much the playability. In my case, I just didn't enjoy it. But now that they released a new update, it's better just to play with it. I think I find it better. This one is pretty well known library. And I like the sound, but of course I can't compare it with the other two libraries. But the three of them together sound amazing. So I'm not sure what's happening. Sound beautiful. Okay, so first of all, I'm going just to save this project, because just wanted to let me record it 1 second. I just wanted just to create the pack, and I have some libraries that usually give me problems. So fantasy RPG complete. Let me just name it soundtrack volume 4, I think. Okay, track 1. I will organize it later. What I was saying is that I have some libraries that sometimes give me problems and Logic crashes with them. It happens a lot with Thin Samples ones to me, and lately also with the Vienna Symphonic Library Synchron Brass. Often when I just load the tuba, the project crashes. I hope it doesn't do that now. Okay, it didn't. Perfect. I love the sound of this tuba. And let's also try not to crash Logic when loading Piatti Crash, which is one of the instruments that always crashes. Okay, and suspended cymbals too. So we came over all the tests. That's great. Okay, so I'm going just to add a bit of percussion and a tuba. First of all, let's add the tuba. And okay, I'm going just to use the horns as reference. This is the horn, and I'm the horns, and I'm going just to record the tuba here. Okay, so let's go. Okay, you know what I find here is super flat. We need some more dynamics, more things going on, more details. So that's going to take a lot of time to do in Live. And actually, I'm not sure what's happening here. I just made some mistakes too, because I was thinking. I was thinking more about that than about what I was playing. So, you know, the reason why I just don't put one super long note here is because tuba player needs to breathe too. So I try always to respect these things when I write for instruments like brass or woodwinds. Okay, just as a comment. So let's record timpanis. Yes, that's beautiful. And this last one is the one who is going to be the most emotional one because of the harmony too. Let's see. You know, it's like these two first phrases the strings do, the violins do, like are like preparing you for the last one, which is the emotional one. Also because the harmony changes to a minor chord, and that makes this area much more emotional, I think, and that's why I want in this last chord to introduce the cymbals. because they are like super effective for emphasizing some passages. So let's see. Okay, I just couldn't have done it worse. So okay. And of course we need a Piatti crash there. So let's record that. And okay, we need some trombones probably. And okay, I like this one is going to give me some problems too usually. So I'm going just to save the project again, and let's see if we don't crash it. Okay, we don't. That's great. So I just loaded the Cinebrass Core trombone ensemble true legato. Okay, and it's the brassy one, because if you open this library, which is here actually, you have trombones, ensemble, true legato, and you have mellow and brassy. So these are the brassy. The brassy is just more. They sound quite well. Probably I'm going just to remove this, the legato. Yes, I think so. Okay, so what are we going to do with the trombones here? It's just in this part we are going just to play with the fifths, like dun, 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 I don't know, we will see, okay, but like counterpoint to the melody of the violins. So let's see the violins. Da-da-dun. Da-da-dun, dun, 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 da-da-dun, dun, dun, dun. I have some ideas for this part, so let's check. No, it doesn't work, I think. Is this the trombones? Yes. Okay, so. Okay, not really. I like the idea, but not how it works here with this sound. So I think actually we could probably get a better result if we just use the mellow ones for that part. So let's record Okay, let's try all, because I was thinking first the first part. Okay, I mean, I was thinking just to do the first part with the brassy legato, and just the second one with the mellow. So let's see how everything sounds with the mellow ones. Okay. Oh my god. Yes, this is the diminished chord, so I wasn't playing correctly there. So let's see. Okay, no, it just doesn't work. So let's see what I cut. Yes. So I like it more or less until that point, but now I prefer just. I think I'm going just to use sustains and just separate the trombones into different voices, because we usually have two trombones. So I'm going to write it in two different voices from that point. Okay, so let's go with. I played absolutely bad. Okay, so this chord is not that one. It's just okay. Okay. You know, I do lots of parallel fifths here in this library because of the sound of it. This is something you shouldn't usually do, but I just noticed this library to my ears works much better if I do them. So I'm just okay, just trying. Sometimes I try to avoid it, but it's like for me. In the low register, these trombones sound amazing, sound super beautiful, especially in soft passages like this. but I really like how they sound when you have the root note of the chord in the lowest note of the instead of inversions. So I just try to do that in this trombone, so everything sounds more deep and powerful, maybe. So that's why I usually do with these trombones. Okay, if I'm using other ones, I just don't do this way. So okay, let's listen again to. Okay, I was just trying how the choir would work there, but maybe it's too big. I don't know. Not really a fan of this. Let me just try also with a female choir. I don't like it, but I don't like it not because of the choir only, but just I feel this melody doesn't have a clear direction. It's like, yeah, many beautiful chords together, but I don't find it has rests at some point. So I think I'll probably just change some things here. Mm. about is okay there, but something is sounding wrong there. I think probably, I don't know. Let's see. Okay. And this? Okay, it's the bones. Okay. Yeah. Now it should sound better. Something like that might help a lot, like a counterpoint in the sopranos, if we are going to use choir. That maybe we can double later with the woodwinds that we are not using yet in this part. So yeah, I think that might work. So let's see what we... I didn't like what I did. I'm not sure. I'm just thinking of many different things at the same time. could be worse. Okay, I'm going just to copy. Okay, in the flutes legato here, also in the oboes, we will see then the register we are writing this. Also the second oboe, even when I actually no. I told you in the beginning that I don't usually like how the two oboes sound when they play the same thing exactly. But I think the second oboe can play, for example, what these trombones are playing. At this point, okay, yes, these ones, I want them to go here too, because it was just legato, and okay. I'm going just to separate the horns, which is another common thing. I do, for example, horns, we had 3 or 4 voices at the same time, usually. Yeah, 4 at many points, 3 at some others. So what we are going to do is just use the clarinets and also the oboes to play exactly the same thing the horns are doing. Oh, sorry, because we have 4 horns, we have 2 clarinets and 2 bassoons. Sorry. So it's for players too. So we should be able to just record, but I want that to be done just in the last part only. So these are the horns, and yeah, I think here I'm just okay, no. Okay. Yes, because this is the climax. I'm glad, Ricardo, that this helps you in some way. That's the key of these videos, I guess. That I don't know, you find it interesting, and also, you know, I do this anyway, so I just don't care if doing it live, and if it's useful for someone, that's great. So okay, so I was going to copy the horns and double that with the clarinets and also the bassoons. Okay, so basically I just copied the horns patch from that point. I told you, I showed you, I copied, I just divided the passage in 2. You know, I can just join these 2. This is just what we played in the horns, but from this point, bar 45, which is exactly the part where the piatti crash and suspended cymbals are playing, like the most emotional part of the piece, I guess. And from that point is where we want the clarinets and the bassoons to play, but we need to be aware of the amount of players. We have only 2 clarinets and only 2 bassoons, but we have copied for 4 players, so we need to go to the piano roll and just tweak it. So the clarinets are going to do the horn 1 and 3. You know, usually you find the horn 1 and horn 3 playing in one score, let's say it that way. I'm not sure how to say. It's like one part is for these 2, and then the horns 2 and 4 play something different. So I would just want the clarinets to do what the 2 first horns would be playing, and just so yeah, we need just 2 voices. So this could be played already by clarinets, I mean. So now we need to remove the highest ones, but also leaving just 2 voices. These are the bassoons, okay? So, and in those that we have only 3 voices, I don't care about doubling, for example, this one with the clarinets too. So, something in the middle, depending on the number of players we have. So this is also something 2 bassoons could play. So this all together right now sounds this way. Clarinets and bassoons. There's something we just copied, but we basically forgot about it, and it's just the register where we were copying the soprano to play. And for example, in the flutes, let me check. Okay, it's not super high. Flutes can play here, but I think they would be better if we make the flutes play 1 octave higher. Okay. Not sure if here too. Okay. Yeah, can be. And now let's go with the first oboe that we also copied the soprano. I think this one is correct here. It's going to sound good here. Yeah, this is like perfect for him, for that instrument. Okay, so we have... Okay, we could double the melody probably with trumpets. So I'm going to use the Trumpets Legato by Cinebras Sonore. You know, this library is really beautiful. I'm going just to save again, just in case. But this library is absolutely beautiful. It's, I don't know, it's not too expensive, I think, either. It was like, wow. Okay, I just bought the Cinebras bundle, so I got all these libraries you see here together in an offer, and it was pretty good price when I bought it time ago. But I think this library, if not, is like, I don't know, 150 euros or something like that, or dollars. I'm not sure about the price, but you can check easily in the Cine Samples website. And it's not super expensive. And it has really beautiful sounds of horns and trumpets. So look, this legato. It's super beautiful sound, you know, it's really good done, really well sampled. So I'm going just to record the melody. Probably I'm going to do a couple of tests and we will see. Okay, I have some problems. It's always with this with these trumpets, and it's like the sound starts cracking or something. Mm, because I just don't have so many things going on. Also, it's just like okay, some strings here, almost no percussion, almost no brass, and just woodwinds. And it's not that much. Okay, choir too, but anyway. Um, okay, so we had trumpets here. I think we should just tweak something. If yeah, in the end, I think. Dun, dun, dun. I'm just tweaking here. Okay, so I'm going just to bounce this and see if bouncing this track I solve the problem of not sure actually it looks like quite okay. Let's listen to the full piece we got so far, and let's see where we should add some detail or anything else. And I will just finish probably at another moment, but and next video will be about maybe this same melody, but in another kind of arrangement or something. Okay, so let's listen to this, to the full piece. That is just 2 minutes and a half, more or less. So let's see. Yeah, I was having some kind of cracking things. It usually doesn't happen to me, but I don't know why. Some projects it does. Okay, we should just probably add some kind of glissandi and things like that. So, in the emotional part, I mean. So, probably just this. Just before the cymbals hit. So, I think that's here. So, yeah. Let's record this. Okay, so yeah, I think I could probably work on many more details, and I will do, but probably just at another moment, as it's a bit late here where I live. It's 2:30 p.m. and we've been already I don't know how much time, but just 2 hours it looks, which is not bad for this kind of thing in Leaf, but that's okay. So I will finish this track, and in the next video, I'm going just to create a new one based on this. In the next video, I mean that I work on this box I told you about, okay? So in the next one, I'm going to work on a new idea that follows this same melody we got here, because I think it's beautiful enough to be used again. Like this. I'm. It's the first time I play this, so. Okay, so that's what were working today at on, and let's see you in the next one. Okay. Thanks for being there, all of you that have been during these 2 hours. And as I said, let's see you in the next one. Bye.